Okay, guys, I'm going to do one more example here, just because I can see some of you maybe getting a little cranky. I'm going to do problem number, let's do 9. Let's again look at 9. So again, we know when we're multiplying rational expressions that we're allowed to just extend the division sign all the way across. Nothing cancels looking at this off the top, but hopefully it's obvious to you that on the first expression, I can factor both the top and the bottom. So let's factor that and then see if anything cancels. So over here, 2x is 2 times x. Now negative 10, remember we separate the negative first. Negative 1 times 10, and then we break the 10 into 2 and 5, which means the only thing common is a 2. So in my factor form I have 2, and then the leftovers are this x on the first term, and then this negative 1 and this 5, which makes minus 5 here. Now let's look at the bottom. Again, I separate the number from the variable, 8 and x. Now 8 breaks down twice. It breaks down into 4 times 2, which then becomes 2 and 2. Negative 40, separate the negative first. Negative 1 times 40, and then 40 breaks down a couple of times. 40 is 4 times 10. Well, 4 is 2 times 2, and 10 is 2 times 5. So what's common here, there's actually a bunch of 2's in common here, right? I have 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs. So I'm going to have 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8 outside. And then what's left over, all I see that's left over here is this x from the beginning. And then negative 1 and positive 5 makes negative 5 here. So I want to do that simplifying before I draw my big rational expression. And so remember, what I'm doing here is I'm actually replacing the 2x minus 10 with this thing. 2 times x minus 5. What about 7x plus 3? That stays. We do need to add in a parenthesis there to keep those separate. On the bottom, again, this 8 times x minus 5 is in place of the 8x minus 40. We don't have both. So we have 8 times x minus 5, and then the 3x plus 8, which doesn't factor, just comes down. So at this point, hopefully it's obvious. The thing that cancels out is the x minus 5s. And then 2 over 8 as a fraction, that simplifies to 1/4. And again, why? Because we can divide them both by 2. So my answer, I would have 1 on its own. I don't need to write down 1 though. So let me go ahead and write that down here. So I can just have the 7x plus 3. Now if it wasn't 1, I would have to write it down with parentheses, but it is 1 here. And on the bottom I have 4 times, and again when you have the number then you do need the parentheses, 3x plus 8. And that would be my answer. So I know, this may seem a little tedious, but it is important stuff for you to know. So get to it. Alrighty. Thank you guys.